Very good. Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also good. So I think, hi Vandan, are you here?
Hi Sanjay. Good morning. Hi Sumit. Hi
Yes.
everyone. Good morning.
Yeah. So I think we should start the session. So Vandan, shall I start? Sanjay?
Yes, sure, sure. Yes, Sumit. Like if everybody is in, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
start.
Everybody is in. So hi all. Welcome to College to Industry and thank you everyone for joining this session. So let me first introduce myself. So my name is Sumit and I'm having around 5 years of experience in the automation. And from the past 3 years, I'm also providing the automation training. And alongside with me is my friend Vandan, who is the founder of College to Industry. And I would also like Vandan now to introduce himself.
Hi Sanjay. Hi Sumit. Hi everyone. So I welcome you all to today's session. So today it's an honor to have Sanjay with us. So all of you have joined either my students or previously or in this current batch. And also you know me and Sumit as well. So if I talk about my professional experience, I have more than 5+ years experience in automation and around 6 years in software testing. So we have actually been using since long this chropath plugin, and what happened immediately some service support was stopped doing by the Sanjay. Actually, Sanjay was also founder of the chropath plugin, and now he is also founder of the SelectorsHub. So we are using this SelectorsHub since long. Even he once he is launched, I am very much follower of him. I will say that I was SelectorsHub when he launched in very beginning, and he is actually updating day by day. I'm just following. He don't know me. He knows Sumit, but we are using SelectorsHub since long, and this is a very powerful tool, I will say. Now I will give this session over to Sanjay because I will request him to give you all of the training related to SelectorsHub, what is SelectorsHub and all. Sanjay, please, over to you. Thank you so much, Vandan. I just share my screen. Hope you guys see it, and my voice and everything is clear. Yeah, Sanjay, we can see you. Perfect, perfect. Hello everyone, a very good morning. I hope you all are doing good. And it's great talking to you guys. And thank you so much, Sumit and Vandan, for giving this opportunity to share my experience and about selectors of with everyone, which is going to help a lot because I believe like most of you are coming from like learning background, so this is going to be a very fantastic session from the learning perspective. And of course, like the new technology and what is the future, and the way you would be getting to know that how the future work is going to be done by like how you guys will be doing the work, because yeah, it's a great opportunity to interact and uh, have such kind of sessions. So yeah, I'm not sure like if you so very first thing, like if you guys don't have selectors up installed, so maybe like if you want to install it, you can install it right away, and then we can start the session. Because meanwhile, if you will be having any question, you can ask upfront. So you can take I will take a 1 minute of time, and here on from selectorsub.com, like for whichever browser you want to install, you can install for Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge, or Opera. So let's take a 1 minute of time, because what happened like many times I found that people uh, later on stage that after the session they install and then they get some issues. So it will be better like if you guys are new, if you haven't installed, you can install it, then we can start it. Sure, Sanjay. Everybody will install it. Perfect. So I believe that everybody has it and install it. So let's start the session now. So yeah, Sanjay. Everything we need to know about XPath and selectors. And why I always keep talking about XPath and selectors, what is the importance and relevance of this in our automation industry, or in like you can say in web automation. Trust me, guys. Like from the like a lot of surveys, it has always proven that almost 50 to 60% time, and in fact more than 70% of time we are spending in XPath and selectors writing.
Because if you imagine, or if you are from the industry, you will feel that most of the time we are maintaining our locators, because once a test case is written, next day when you will be executing that test case, the only thing which is going to break or you have to maintain is that your selectors only. So in fact, in some cases people say that we are spending more than 80% of the time, because test case is written that driver.find element command, or in whichever technology we are writing this automation, all, like, we always keep maintaining that, because framework is written, that is once only written, a test case is written, that is once only written. But the everyday what we are doing, we are maintaining the locators. If test case got failed, because the error, the very frequent error is always element not found or stale element, something like that. So our locators are as important as the tires of car. Like if you are running your car and you don't have good tires, it will break in the next hump or whatever. Similarly, like if in your automation test case, if you don't have good locators, good selectors, your car will not, your test case will not run. It will immediately break. Then that there is no use of that test case, right? So selectors are, locators are very important thing in our web automation, because that is the only thing which keep our test case executing. Now, there are a lot of ways of writing, generating selectors. Like if you open any website, the very first thing, because many of us doesn't prefer to write, use a tool, and in fact, like it was suggested in past that we should never use a tool. So there are ways to write Xpath, there are ways to generate Xpath from the different tools. Now, there are a lot of Xpath functions, n number of functions. Few of them I have listed here. Like this is the very first one is the standard formula of Xpath. Double forward slash tag name at the rate attribute is equal to attribute value. Then contains text, column proceedings. Then basically access, index, position, normalize space. Guys, if you are a beginner, if somebody is beginner and not aware about these things, don't worry. This is, I'm just showing that what are things are there, so that everybody can have an overall picture of this. But trust me, I will make it very simple, and you all will be able to do these things. So don't worry about all these things, that so many things are written over here. Then basically the point of these methods showing over here is that we cannot remember all of these methods. Like in CSS selectors also, we have tons of functions. N number of functions are there. But it is hard to remember all of them. Like in Smart IntelliJ, like we have this, that we have this Smart IntelliJ or Eclipse or ID. When you start typing over here, you see that there are like so many methods. But when you start typing, you start getting them. So do you remember all of them? No, you don't remember all these methods. When you start typing there over there, you start getting them, and that's how we all write our steps and everything. Right. So similarly, to solve all this problem and the challenges like writing XPath and selectors and different kinds of problem, because there are like a lot of things which are impossible to solve all those problems. Here we have now SelectorsHub, a new reality. Build your own XPath and CSS selector in less than 5 seconds without compromising learning skills. Region in the past, like in fact, not just like others, in fact, myself as well, I used to say that use any Xpath tool once you are like, when you are a pro in writing selectors. And most of the people doesn't prefer to use an Xpath tool. So that is the reason that I have invented and created SelectorsHub to come over that phrase that we should not use an XPath tool. Now the phrase is that we should use an XPath tool, which is a SelectorsHub. We should use an XPath editor or SelectorsHub in place of using other tools to verify and write selectors. Okay, let me prove this and show you guys what is the reason behind all this. So it's very simple. Before that, like SelectorsHub, we are seeing it over here. So once you install it, you will find it over here, and you can see that this is the first view of SelectorsHub. Okay, and this is how it will look, and you can write and build your Xpath here. Here, the good advantage of this that it works as a smart editor. Like, okay, so this is, you have seen that, this you might have seen in the previous tool like chropath and all. Okay, so this is fine that we get the auto generated. The main advantage, the biggest advantage of this, that the smart editor, the power of SelectorsHub is the smart editor. The reason, because when you write Xpath here in Chrome DevTools, like this, let's say we have to write an Xpath for some element here. But when you start typing over here, /h3. So as soon as you type, you see that it goes up and down. And again, we will have to inspect this element. And then we have to copy this value. Then we write text. This is how we are making one of one, like this way. But you see that there is a space, we have to inspect 2-3 times, we have to copy these values. But here you see that it works as a smart editor. Like in a smart IntelliJ, when we type, you get the values, right? Similarly, this is a smart editor for selectors. When you type, you get the values along with their occurrences, and you can build your own Xpath immediately, which is very simple and very easy. You see that?
Yeah, hi Sanjay.
So this,
Sorry to interrupt you. Actually, someone is saying that font size is very small. Can you please make it big?
sure. Oh,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
thank you.
Just let me know if this is fine.
Yeah, I think, is it fine for everyone? Please confirm.
Yes, it's fine for
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
So, hello. Anybody is saying something?
Yeah. I didn't see your screen.
Oh, see, you can join again because we can see. I think you are joining from mobile or you have switched over the screens. So
Again, joining.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how, like, basically it helps, like, in building your own Xpath or selector. So you see that as soon as you start typing, you immediately get the auto suggest along with their occurrences and all these information here. If you have to write a CSS selector for any element, you just inspect the element here, and when you will type, you get the auto suggest for the CSS selector. So this is really helpful, and you can quickly build your own XPath and CSS selector. But okay, this is fine that we have built it, we got auto generated, and everything is fine, and this is saving a tremendous amount of time. Now let's talk about something which is really important, which because if those who have already used SelectorsHub, they know that we can build it, and we can generate the XPath selector from Selector. So that is all fine. But what something you are looking from me today is that this is something really important, misconception. We write own XPath. Everybody says in our industry that we write own XPath. But and also the second sentence, they say that we don't use a tool. But this is wrong sentence. Everybody is using a XPath tool to verify and write their XPath. This Chrome DevTools or this browser DevTools is also a tool, right? Here you are writing and verifying. You are not writing your XPath here like this way, and here not, you are not verifying. When you write your XPath, you verify it somewhere, right? So that is also a tool. But do you know that when you write an XPath here in Chrome DevTools, that is not a right platform to verify your XPath and selectors. This we never talked, never discussed. Due to lack of innovation, whatever was available, we considered that as a standard. You must be surprised that this is not the right platform when you will know that. Suppose if somebody asks you how many links on this page, how do you tell them that how many links on this page? And it is a very frequently asked question in interviews, and in fact in a daily job as well we have to do it a lot. So how do we find that how many links on this page? We write double forward slash A. So it is showing 141. In general, people say yes, there are 141 links like this way. But do you know that it is also matching the strings over here? Like wherever it will find the same string, double forward slash A here, that is the region that it is showing a match, while this is not a link tag. This is not a basically anchor tag, A tag. This is something else, right? It is matching here. Press enter. Likewise, you see that it is also matching this, it is also matching this. So browser DevTools is not just to verify and write selectors. It also works on search functionality. If you really want to know that how many link on this page, you search here in SelectorsHub, you will get to know that there are only 62 links are there on this page. While here from browser DevTools you get 141, which is a wrong answer. So this is not the right platform to verify and write your selectors. This was the biggest misconception of our industry, or you can say myth, which we never talk about due to lack of innovation. We always considered that this is the standard, this is the way to verify selectors, while this is absolutely not the correct platform. In fact, like when you write this Xpath, like let's say complete double forward slash a text is equal to something ABC. If somewhere this string will match on this page, if this string matches somewhere in this page, then your Xpath will, that will also show as a match. Well, that's not correct. Suppose if you ask like how many select tags on this page, how many drop down, right? You know that select tags generally drop downs are built with select tag. If you search here, you will find that 153 are there, it is showing. While actually, are there 153? No. You see, there are 0 select tag on this page. So this is not the right platform to write and verify your selectors. This we have to we all should understand and we all should learn. Guys, if you have any question in between, you can type on the chat or you can just unmute and ask. Or maybe Vandan or Sumit can if somebody asks question, you can just read it out because I'm not on that screen. So yeah.
Sanjay, sure.
So I hope like this concept is clear that this is not the right platform to write and verify your selectors. And in fact, like there are many scenarios where it shows like not the right platform. Now let's talk something else. Apart from this, where all this gives the wrong information when we write and verify selectors. In case of SVG, I'm not sure how many of you know that SVG elements are something like special kinds of elements which doesn't support the standard format of Xpath. Like this is SVG element, this is SVG and this is SVG child here. SVG, those who are not aware about SVG, let me tell you, SVG are the vector elements which is used to donate the something kinds of, you can say, icons, and it has some similar kind of HTML format which developers use in their development to add the icons on the website. This is just I'm telling you to make you guys understand what it is at high level. Okay, so if we have to write an XPath for this element, just with like these logos. So for an example, let's copy the XPath value from Chrome DevTools. And now let me paste it here. Hope this is visible. You see that it is showing 0 of 0. You guys won't believe this. Almost 80% people, almost 80% of our industry people doesn't know that this is the wrong format of SVG element. And I'm talking about all this with the facts, with the stats, like what I have done the survey on LinkedIn. Almost 80% people has given the wrong answer for this one. They say that this is the right format. While you see that it is showing 0 of 0, so basically Chrome DevTools or any browser DevTools doesn't give you the right syntax of SVG XPath. They give the wrong syntax. And this is what we have learned till today due to lack of innovation. Now just open SelectorsHub here and paste the same value which we got from the DevTools and press enter. You will see that it will tell you that this is invalid XPath, invalid SVG XPath format. Then, so this is what you have learned from this one, from SelectorsHub. Now, what is the right format then? You just start typing over here. SelectorsHub will give you the right syntax. So this is the right syntax, right format to write selectors for SVG. You see that our forward slash star local dash name is equal to SVG. This is the formula to write XPath for SVG element. Now you select this, press enter. It is finding 7 elements matching. If you want to make it unique with indexes, you just type open parenthesis and then you see that here it gives you that. So this is the formula to write the SVG syntax, SVG XPath. Double forward slash SVG doesn't support. This is a wrong XPath format for SVG element. And SVG child has the different XPath formula, like it is a double forward slash star name is equal to path. This you would never be able to learn from here. So this is again a misconception, or you can say browser DevTools gives the wrong syntax, wrong information. Next is shadow DOM. Shadow DOM is DOM inside DOM if you are not aware about it. And this is basically a partial DOM we used to call. So if any element is inside shadow DOM, we cannot handle them directly like other elements. Like for an example, what we were doing here, that we just inspected any element and we can immediately start writing XPath over here, right? Like this way, and we can do this thing. In case of shadow DOM, we will have to be little more careful. We cannot just directly we cannot just directly inspect this element and we can start writing XPath here, double forward slash input like that. You see that it is showing 0 of 0. So first let me tell you the misconception and the myth. First
Yeah, hi Sanjay. Sorry to interrupt you. Guys, if you have any query, so please unmute yourself and ask directly from the Sanjay. That will be a better approach. So please unmute yourself and then ask.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah,
see.
continue please.
Any question? Yeah. Was there any question?
Sanjay, this is Vinod here. Whatever you said, I'm following it up, and we have other XPath locator or tools in the market, right? So how it differs, this SelectorsHub differs from the other tools, and that is one primary question from me. And the second question is, like, while installing this SelectorsHub, I get a notification saying the data is being retrieved from the browser. So that any automated tools will retrieve the data from the browser. But how you guys are storing it, and do you clear that, or how secure it is when I use the SelectorsHub? Because if I recommend to my company to use this third-party tool, so definitely they'll be thinking about security aspects. Like if you retrieve the data from the browser, and that company data will be given outside, right? So
Sure.
how you guys are handling?
Okay, sure, Vinod. I'm really thankful that you asked these questions, because these are like very common and questions which everybody has, and I would have missed it if you would have not asked, because it was not included in the slides. So I'm so thankful to you. Okay. coming to your questions one by one. The first thing, compare with other Xpath tools out there in the market. So you see that here is a quick comparison with other extensions which are there. So SelectorsHub is the very first which is the smart editor, like which gives the auto suggest. So you will never find any Xpath tool which gives you the which works as a smart editor like this. So this is the very first smart editor. When you type it here like this, you get the auto suggest like this while typing, which made it possible. Second, Shadow DOM support. No other browser dev tools or any Xpath extension supports Shadow DOM. So SelectorsHub is the only one which supports Shadow DOM. Generate relative CSS selector. If you compare the CSS selector which SelectorsHub generate, you can compare with any other tool out there in the market. You will not find. In fact, CSS selectors, SelectorsHub is the very first and the only CSS selector. You see that CSS selector, this one it is giving. While if you copy this value from here or from any Xpath tool out there in the market, you compare the value of selectors, what SelectorsHub gives. And if you go to the browser store here, just search for, let's say you search here for CSS selector. Press enter. You will get SelectorsHub on top here. So basically SelectorsHub is the only tool for relative CSS selector. Feature to copy selectors from context menu. Yes, some browser extensions support that. Like you can right click and copy the value from here itself from the right click menu option. But the features which you get, like you can customize the context menu as well, like whichever value you want, you can pick that, you can turn off, turn on. Lots of features are there. You can customize the UI, which is possible, like the way you want the SelectorsHub to look, that is only possible with SelectorsHub. Like suppose currently it is working as a generator and editor, like you can add it as well as generate, right? But many of you doesn't want the generator, so you can turn it off and this will work as an editor only. And now if you, next time when you will open, so this same UI will open. So basically it looks like very neat and clean. If you, you see that this way you can work. Lots of features are there. Everything is customizable. You can turn it on, turn off. You can add the command as well. So lots of features are there which is not available in any Xpath extension. Then feature to customize context menu gives proper error message. This is the very first Xpath extension which gives you the proper error message, or you can say the error handling. This was never possible. Like if anything is wrong in your selector, there is no invention which made it possible. Like if anything is missing in your Xpath, nothing will, no tool will show you. So these are some of the like comparison, like SVG's element support, relative path, relative JS path. No tool gives this JS path, which is very helpful for all the web developers and everybody. Like almost 30 to 40% are the users are the developers, web developers who are using for this JS path, because the JS path kind of which browser dev tools gives, if you copy this value from here, this JS path, you see that such a long value it gives, very long value. And what SelectorsHub gives, you see such a smart and optimized value. So likewise, there are like so many features which are not possible. And of course, this is the only browser dev tool. This is the only extension which is available for all the browsers, including Safari. And with a similar functionality like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Opera, all has the same functionality. No browser extension supports the similar functionality for all the browsers. And SelectorsHub is the very first Xpath or selector tool which is available for Safari browser. So likewise, there are like n number of features which, and basically this is an innovation, I would say, like everybody says. So yeah, no, I mean, generally there is no comparison with other tools. And talking about chropath and SelectorsHub, so guys, just wanted to let you know that I have stopped working on chropath from last 6 months, and SelectorsHub is the new reality. So I would recommend you all to use SelectorsHub. There is no support from my side on chropath. There's no development, nothing. And you can compare with the chropath as well, like what Xpath, chropath gives, and like all. And in fact, like chropath, some cases it's not available as well. And about the, now coming to your question, how secure it is. SelectorsHub is 100% secure and it runs only on your local. It doesn't save any user data. You can read about this privacy policy, data policy here in direct from the browser store. You see that this publisher has disclosed that it will not collect or use your data. And you see it not being sold to third party, not basically it runs only on your local. I don't collect any data. And if anything saved, that saves in your local, like whatever settings you save here, whatever command you save here, like this saves in your local, not any server. SelectorsHub doesn't have any server. While if you talk about like any other extension, let's say you go for chropath. So like I said, I have left it, and now with autonomic, so you can see that because I have left it, now it is collecting the user activity. So you can go to the browser extension page, and there in privacy practices, you can see that what it is collecting, what it is using your data. So I would recommend SelectorsHub. You can use it. It is 100% secure. There is no data privacy policy issue.
And one question is coming from Soeb, that does it support Internet Explorer? Means what browser it supports as of now? We have actually seen that Safari you have launched recently.
Yes. So yes. So Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge it is supporting, Opera. So you can use it on Edge. Internet Explorer, no, it's not supporting. So yeah, actually Microsoft announced that they might be closing that soon. So yeah, for Internet Explorer it is not available. Edge it is available, and like most of people from Microsoft or the users of it, IE, they are using it on Edge.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. I hope Vinod, I believe like most of your questions has been answered. If you have any further query, feel free to ask.
Right. Thanks, Sanjay. Yeah, you did.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Oh, sure. Thank you. Okay, so we were talking about Shadow DOM. So you see that there is no Xpath tool or no browser extension or not in fact dev tools. Nothing is there to verify selector for Shadow DOM. Like if you right click on the element, copy Xpath, and if you paste that Xpath here, you see that $/star ID is equal to input. It is showing 0 of 0. You will be like if you are a beginner, if you are a tester, or in fact if you are an experienced guy as well, if you are not aware about Shadow DOM, you will never able to figure out why it is showing 0 of 0, because you are writing the right XPath. If you are writing, you can also write the CSS selector because ID is there, so hashtag input like this way, and you see that it is not showing anything, 0 of 0. You will be like surprised why it is not giving you, and there is nothing like, is there anything available out there which can help you to let you know that for this element, this XPath is not working or this selector is not working, right? So this is like very much challenging it was, but not now anymore. Now with the SelectorsHub, as soon as you open SelectorsHub, immediately it tells you that this element is inside Shadow DOM, in Shadow DOM. So you learn about that this element is inside Shadow DOM. So if you are someone new, you would be able to learn something new, that okay, this is inside Shadow DOM. Now, if you read more about it here, that CSS selector hashtag input, it gives you this element is inside Shadow DOM, and for such elements, XPath won't support. So you learn so many things now. That first, that this element is inside Shadow DOM. Second, XPath doesn't support Shadow DOM, or Shadow DOM doesn't support XPath. And then CSS selector as well, you got it. You can also verify your same selector if you write here in SelectorsHub. You see that it is showing one element matching. You can verify that. If you would have written this XPath, what we have copied here, /input @ID is equal to input. This is what we have written over there. Press enter, it will tell you that XPath doesn't support Shadow DOM. So anything wrong you will be doing, it will help you. What kind of element is that? It will tell you whether it is inside Shadow DOM, whether it is SVG. So suppose let's inspect this element. Now it is telling you that this is SVG element. You see that so many information you will get it. It will help you a lot to save you tremendous amount of time as well as the information for the learning purpose. You see that it tells you that SVG element, SVG selector you got. You also got to know that this element is inside shadow DOM. So you will have to take care of that. Let me tell you guys that you cannot use you cannot handle the SVG element in your automation script directly. The method like driver.find element and then write CS selector for that one and then dot click. You will have to handle through JavaScript. You will have to write a small different kind of script so that you can check it out. But yeah, this information you will get it all here. So these were the like misconception, and in fact, like for iframe as well, if I tell you that this is another big misconception which we never aware about. Suppose if you have to inspect or write an XPath for element which is inside iframe. So suppose this element, if you have to write this, send a message. Here you see that this element is inside iframe. If you scroll up, this is inside iframe. Now if you have to write an XPath for this element, if the similar XPath will exist outside iframe, it will tell you that as well. Suppose we are writing like this /span. Okay, now here you see that it is showing 32 span. You know that it is telling you in browser DevTools, it is finding all the span outside iframe as well as inside iframe here. While we want to verify only inside iframe, there is nothing to verify only inside iframe. The only possible way is open SelectorsHub. Now if someone asks you that how many span tags are there inside this iframe, you can easily verify /span, press enter. There are 4 span inside iframe. And outside iframe, if someone asks, you inspect any element outside iframe, now you are outside, there are 24 span outside iframe. While this is showing 32 because it is also matching string, because it is also matching inside, outside, everything together. So how you will verify? So that all helps a lot. And these are the misconceptions which we ran in our industry from long, but not anymore. And this is the reason that SelectorsHub is being loved by everyone and being used in every company now. Every company almost like in every country of the world, just in such a short span of time. So yeah, we have seen that how to write and verify for Selector for Shadow DOM, SVG. We have seen that iframe and frame. Yes, so if any element is inside iframe, you just inspect that element. It will give you the iframe XPath as well as selectors for the inspected elements. Everything you will get it here. And this is so simple, and it will save a tremendous amount of time for you.
Sanjay, one question again, Vinod here.
Yes.
And the shadow DOM, what you are talking about, I think mostly we were using a tool called AG Grid. It's a third-party tool to display data. So in that case, even in the grid and any third-party tool, wherever the shadow DOM objects are embedded, so this particular SelectorsHub will help to derive data from that, right?
Yes. So okay. See, if you any application.
Yeah, to keep it simple, like even if the shadow DOM objects are embedded in the grids, which is dynamic, like maybe dynamic or static, whatever it is, so we can retrieve the data and elements, attributes of the cells, and we can derive it, right? That's my question.
Yes. So you would be able to do that. Okay, let me make it further, simplify it. Anything which you can, any application or anything, whatever you are talking about, if you are able to open that in your web browser, and for that DOM is getting loaded in here in elements tag, for that you would be able to write and generate selectors from SelectorsHub. If you are not able to, if it is not working, then feel free to contact me. I will more than happy to help you. Or if that is an issue in SelectorsHub, or what is the reason that it is not generating, I'm more than happy to help you with that. So if anything, like no matter in which technology your application is built, no matter it is in React, Angular, Puppet, Angular JS or any technology your application is built. If it is you are able to open in web browser like this, and your application is loaded like in this in the DOM, and DOM is available, you would be able to generate and write selector for that from SelectorsHub. Now, knowing one thing which is a limitation from W3C or from browser, web browser, that shadow DOM which are open, that only would be able to for those shadow DOM only we can access, or we can write the selectors for them, we can generate the selectors for them. If it is closed, then we cannot access those shadow DOM through JavaScript. So for an example, let me show you here. So this is an standard rule actually. Let me show you the definition here. So shadow DOM which are built with open, that we can access. So you see that when the mode of shadow root is closed, the shadow root implementation internals are inaccessible or and unchangeable from JavaScript. So this is a rule, a standard rule. So only which are with open that we can access. Now here SelectorsHub will help you to understand what is closed and what is not. So you see that here SelectorsHub tells you that this element is inside closed shadow DOM which is inaccessible. So for such elements we cannot generate Xpath or selectors. Okay, you see that this is closed. So that is the reason it will not generate. And here is the definition of open and closed from the developer mozilla.org. Similarly, like for iframe, if any iframe which is from different source, that also can't be accessed. The region again. So basically these iframes and shadow DOM, guys, if you are not able to understand these funda and concepts, don't worry about it. It is hardly it is going to come in your real-time scenarios and real-time picture. This is just a concept which came. So I'm just telling because we not asked for this thing, and it is good to know. But here is good to know that definition of an origin for iframe. If it is from same origin, then you would be able to inspect and write. If it is from different origin, we won't be able to generate from an extension. So suppose this one, you see that when you will inspect this element here, it is generating iframe because this iframe is coming from the same origin, same source. Basically, it is coming from LinkedIn.com. So that is the reason that we are able to inspect these elements. If it comes from, let's say, on this LinkedIn.com, if ad is coming from Google.com, then in that case we won't be able to inspect that because that is coming from different source or origin. So, and this different source and origin depends on multiple factors, so don't worry about that. So yeah, for iframe and shadow DOM, that's the limitations from the W3C and the browser that we cannot access, which are from different source or which are from closed shadow DOM. So Vinod, I hope I answered your queries and it is helpful. Yeah, so yes,
I have a doubt over here. Yesterday I went to your YouTube channel and I was finding one Xpath of SelectorsHub. It was I used contain SelectorsHub and I was getting two results in that. So even after using indexation, I was not able to find the unique Xpath for that. So can you please shed light on that?
sure. So whenever you want to write an Xpath with indexes, so there are like have you seen that index videos like one I have created for index?
No, actually I haven't seen.
Okay, fine. So suppose you have to write an XPath for any element on index basis. So like I have showed you here. So when you are writing an XPath like this for this element, if you are writing and it is matching 7 elements, right? So one index we use like this one. This is one way of using index. So that is the reason many times people not able to create the unique, but not this way. Put your cursor in the beginning in SelectorsHub and type open parenthesis. It will give you with the right index. You see this one, and then you hit enter. So it is giving you one matching node. So whenever you are building any XPath or any element, if it is not finding immediately unique, so then you can just type here, put your cursor in the beginning, type open parenthesis, then it will give you with the right index, unique XPath. If it is not able, you are not able to. And when you will be typing it here, you will get all the logs with their parentheses here, so that you can see. Is it helpful?
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, welcome. And I would recommend you, like in the YouTube channel, there are like lots of very fundamentally strong videos are there, which you can check it out here. I would really recommend, because very basic funda we are not clear. So if you check it here, I would really recommend uh, this playlist. Uh, Learn about selectors and DOM, I guess. Yeah. So this has very fundamental videos here. So you see that how to write for shadow DOM, SVG, and the indexes based. So these are very fundamental queries for selectors to learn about selectors and DOM. So this will really helpful.
Sanjay, can you share this playlist URL so that everybody
Sure. Sure. Thank you. And you can, I used to keep adding very good fundamental videos over there, so you can subscribe and keep watching over there. I have also created the Xpath tutorial series and CSS selected tutorial series, and in fact, like, both the courses are available at Udemy, and everything is free, guys. From my side, nothing is paid or anything. Everything is absolutely free, so you can watch that. And let me tell you that all the courses are the highest rated, both on like Udemy and YouTube, so you can watch them. And these are the only Xpath tutorial and CSS selectors series which are available out there in the internet. So it is going to help you a lot. Now, this is very good feature and very helpful from the learning perspective, because there was nothing which can tell us that what is wrong in our selector until unless an expert is not sitting beside you. Suppose, and where it is helpful, it is very helpful while debugging and writing selectors. Like this, what happened is most of the cases our script used to fail due to uh, element not found error, right? Most of the time. So whenever we copy XPath from our script, it happens a lot that we miss something, like while copying the comma or the square bracket or something like that, right? But when you will paste that value here in browser dev tools or in any tools, it will show 0 of 0. In that case, most of the time we never feel that this is a wrong syntax. We have missed something. What we immediately start thinking that, oh, this is showing 0 of 0, that means XPath is not working. We start writing different XPath, new selectors, and we feel, okay, we have done this. But not. If you paste the similar XPath here in browser, the SelectorsHub, you will see that it will tell you that what is missing. This is a wrong XPath syntax. So there is two things, whether it is actually zero matching node or it is a wrong XPath syntax. So that we have to learn, that we should learn, and that we should understand whether it is an actually wrong selector or the zero matching node. So this helps you with those information that close square bracket is missing. Now you can just type that, oh, this is matching, then that means something else is breaking in our script, so that you can figure it out and debug and make your whether that's a bug or something, that you can figure it out in place of blaming your script that your locator broke. So likewise, like if you do anything wrong over here, let's say for an example, if I ask you, we type close bracket, okay, this is one matching. If I type div here, can someone tell me immediately that this is a wrong XPath or right XPath when we have written it over here? For a second, yes, of course, I know that most of us know that this is a wrong syntax, but for a second, when we are in interview or somewhere, we are not able to understand immediately, we cannot answer that immediately that this is a wrong format. For a second, for sure, it will come in mind, yeah, this is the right XPath, why it is showing 0 of 0. But if you paste that here, press enter, it will tell you that after close square bracket, what is allowed and what is not allowed. So that you would be able to learn. Like if this you type, this will tell you. And trust me guys, if somebody asks you like this, if I ask you that whether this is a wrong Xpath or right Xpath, for a second you won't be able to tell. In fact, even I would not be able to tell that this is a wrong Xpath if I type like this, forward slash over there. But if you type it here, this will tell you. So this is a learning guide, Xpath and selectors, about Xpath and selectors for you, SelectorsHub, which is going to help you in learning and writing selectors. The same what is not missing. And here you will see that it will also have this link will be there. So if you click on this, it will take you to that page if you want to learn more about Xpath function and Xpath and selectors error handling. So here you will find a lot of functions over here, and all those what are new things are there. Like if you writing CSS selector, so if I'm not sure, like if you are aware of all those functions like this, then if anything will be available, that immediate child, parent child, descendant in CSS selector, so that all you would be able to learn, and those all functions are available here. Like what is the child combinator, general sibling combinator, so those are available here. That you I have explained all these and taught you guys that how you can learn about this in my CSS selector tutorials here in YouTube. So this is a CSS selector tutorial series. So let me just share this link as well. So you can learn this as well. It will help you a lot. Very good concepts about Xpath as well. Let me just share this as well. Okay. So yes, sorry, please tell me.
Yeah, Vidya here. So I just had this doubt. So when we are using applications now and then, the elements keep changing, right? Like developers make changes to the elements. In that case, will it actually show us? I mean, how will we know in that case when we type everything here for the XPath?
Can you repeat your question, please? Sorry.
Yeah, so if developers make change to the elements, right? Say they are trying to change the UI or something.
Yes.
At that time, when we use SelectorsHub, how will we know? Will it indicate that this is the element has been changed or in some way? Like that is my question.
Yes, yes. So if anything will be changed here, that will in that case it will not tell you that because it is not going to save your data in the cloud or somewhere. So it is not going to tell you that this was the previous one, it was working and it is now it's not working due to change. But it will show you that zero matching node. So that way you would be able to understand that your UI has changed, so you will have to change it now. Hello. Yeah, that will be possible in that case. Like if it will start saving your data or your DOM in the cloud, and next time when you will come and then you will verify, then it will be able to tell you that this is something has changed now.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I think what Vidya was asking that suppose there is a XPath which is dynamic. Like once you hit refresh, the XPath just get changes. So is there a way to find out like before only in selectors of that this following XPath is dynamic? It is not static. Okay. Okay. So thank you for clarifying this question and elaborating. Sorry. Yeah. So thank you. Yes. So see, let me first redefine this dynamic XPath. There is nothing like dynamic XPath or anything like that. Attributes are dynamic, not the XPath. So if your XPath is having a dynamic, if your XPath is having an attribute value which is dynamic or which can change on refresh, so then that XPath becomes like dynamic. And logically, there is no algorithm in the world which can say this value is dynamic or static. It is us, those who know that for us this ABC123 is dynamic or ABC123 is static. Like for an example, you see that this value, here SelectorsHub will suggest you that this class looks dynamic. So it solves your problem. So yes, the solution for your problem is there already. So it tells you that this class looks dynamic to me. uncheck the class checkbox or delete the class attribute from this one. Here is the filter. So it helps you with that, it tells you, it suggests you that this class looks dynamic. Now it's up to you whether you want to generate without this attribute or not, because you know that for your application this is dynamic or static. So I know that this is static for my application. If I will refresh this page, this element, because you see that 72E3647, it looks like dynamic, right? But if I refresh my page, this element is not this attribute is not going to change, and that will be there, and still it is finding one match, the same Xpath. So it's you that who decide whether this value, this attribute is dynamic or static. So you can decide that. Like here in the google.com, if you see that, if we generate with class here, press enter, you see that this value looks dynamic. But I know, I mean, if this is alpha only, if it is alpha numeric, then SelectorsHub will suggest you that this value looks dynamic. So I know that this is static, because when we will refresh this page, the same value is going to appear again. You see that if it is changing, then you can uncheck this checkbox and it will generate with something else, or delete this from here. Then it will suggest you that this is generating with this, and you uncheck this, it will generate with something else. So yes, it is there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and another feature is there, like you can, these are attribute filters, so you can generate Xpath with your choice or selectors with your choice. Like suppose you want to generate Xpath here with JS name, so that attribute you can pass it here. Press enter, it will generate with your attribute. So that's another good feature. So we were talking about the errors. Yes, so the error feature is there. Security, I have showed you guys like how secure it is. So this is absolutely secure. So you need not to worry about the security. And the security information, it is also available on SelectorsHub website, as well as here in the browser store, which is coming from the like Chrome store itself. So this is already authentic, and you can anytime you can, if you're in your company it is blocked or extensions are blocked in your company, you can get it easily whitelisted. Most of the company has immediately whitelisted SelectorsHub, the region like this one. This is all by showing them this, and you can tell them like who is the author and developer. So yeah, and if you anything need in written from me for the approval, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. Does it slow down your browser? Not at all. It is like compared to any other extension out there, almost 2-3 times lesser in the size. I would request you guys, because not everyone is yet aware about SelectorsHub and not aware about that I have stopped development in unsupported chropath. So please share SelectorsHub, write article blogs, or if you are speaking in any conference or in your meetups or in your company inside, you can talk about SelectorsHub. You can I will share this presentation with all of you, or you can reach out to me if you want to speak on SelectorsHub. So like you guys speak on like different technology like Selenium or other stuff, you can also speak on SelectorsHub and let them know about these misconceptions what they are learning and they are using every day. So this way, this innovation will reach to everyone, because yet not everybody is aware of it.
So, Sanjay, actually, we want to know that apart from this SelectorsHub, what new innovations you are currently working on, or this is the one only?
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, I will. Next, I will show you that. And yeah, so few more things, like this is absolutely free and no license required. And if you feel that it is helping in your job, I'm not asking to students, if you are working and getting advantage of this one in your day-to-day job and saving time and able to make some money out of it. So I would request you, please be a patron, because this is absolutely free and I have left the job and working full time for the community. So if you feel it is helpful in your job, so please donate and be a patron, so that we can keep running this SelectorsHub project free forever without any like financial crunch, because I have to pay a lot for like servers and like browser stores fees, etc., and of course like my bread and butter. So this is the only source for my bread and butter. Here are some of the achievements of SelectorsHub. It has been awarded, won the award Indian Achievers Award for 2020, being used in like more than 120 countries. Number one, Xpath and this is Selector tool. It's to start appearing in LinkedIn profile. So yes, the industry, it is being asked in interviews, and interviewers are also searching profiles on the basis of SelectorsHub skills. So if you can also mention SelectorsHub in your LinkedIn profile. More than 30,000 active users on all the browsers. Engineers calls it lifesaver because yes, it made it possible. Huge thanks to all the SelectorsHub sponsors and supported test project and all of them. How to install? So it's very simple to install. I hope you all have already installed it. Just go to SelectorsHub.com here and click on whichever browser you want to install. Safari, it is little bit different functionality. Rest all has same. So I would request you to please watch the video tutorial for Safari here. Then I have already installed it, so you can just add to Chrome and just accept that one pop-up, and then you will be able to add it here. You will not find a logo here by default, so you will have to pin it to toolbar by clicking on this. And I would request you, like if you are using the very first time, make sure you are not trying on the blank tab. There should be a URL in the browser, because many times you open this Google new tab and you feel that this is google.com, and people start using it here, SelectorsHub. So on blank tab, it will not support. None of the browser extension can work on blank tab because it requires the actual DOM. Web application basically it is required. So make sure you have open google.com. And if you are not able to find SelectorsHub here, so you will see that it will be hidden here like this way, last sidebar. So it will be here, and you will have to expand it here. And after adding it in your browser, please refresh all the tabs which are open, or just restart your browser. If you need any help from me anytime, in the footer in the SelectorsHub you will find all the link. I would recommend you to join the Slack channel over here. Click on this. There are all rest of the things available here, so you can check out those links. There is something more in SelectorsHub which people ask, like, can we save more time? So yes, you can, like, if you don't want to open SelectorsHub again and again like this way, you can directly right click and copy the selector value from here. And this feature is really helpful, lifesaver in many cases where you are not able to write selectors. Let me show you how. Suppose it is very helpful in case of dynamic elements. Now let me show you what are dynamic elements. Yeah. Yes, please tell me.
Yeah, is there any option where I can activate this selector post installation? Whenever I want, I can use it up and I can deactivate it, but still the installation remains the same in my browser. And whenever is there any possibility, or is there any features like that?
Yes. So all extensions you can do that. So in fact, like if you right click on this SelectorsHub logo here, this you see that manage extension there. Click on this manage extension, and here you can turn it off, on or off, this one. I hope this is helpful.
Thanks, Sanjay. Yeah, I can.
Or you can just open this Chrome // extension tab here, and wherever it is on, you can on or off like this. So it's very easy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now you see that in this case, like for an example, this kind of drop down which we are not able to inspect, or which we are not able to find in DOM. So right click on this and inspect this element. You see that we are not able to inspect that mobile accessory under electronics. So this is really tough to write Xpath or generate Xpath for such element, because we are not able to inspect them. Then in this case, SelectorsHub comes as a boon, and that is the reason that people call SelectorsHub as a boon. You see mobile accessories. Now right click on this, copy relative Xpath from here, and now open SelectorsHub, paste that value here. Okay, sorry, this is I have turned on it. Okay. Let me just refresh this page. Make sure whenever, if you if you turn it off and turn it on, So whenever the SelectorsHub first time is installed basically in your browser, whatever application is already open, you have to refresh the page once. After that, not required again and again. That is fine. Just very first time, whenever it comes as a fresh install or on off it happen, you have to refresh the page.
Sure.
So here for this one, we want for mobile accessories, right click and copy Xpath here. And now if you open this one and paste the value here, so you see that mobile accessories Xpath has been done. Now press enter, it is showing 0 matching node. Reason it is showing 0 because that element is not loaded in the DOM. So like you do in Selenium, that first you hover on that element, then it is loaded here. So you see when you hover it and now press in SelectorsHub enter, you will see that it will show 1 matching node. So this comes as a boon, which made it possible to generate Xpath for such kind of element which we are not able to inspect. If you remove hover from here, that element gone from DOM, right? Now if you press enter, it will show 0. Again hover, press enter, it will find 1 matching node. So this is the only, this is really amazing solution which made it possible to write and generate selector for such element. So this is really helpful, and now you got this kind of Xpath over here, right? This is also helpful, very helpful. Suppose you have a script. Sorry, Sumit, are we running out of time? Do we need to make it quick?
No, Sanjay, we can continue.
Yeah, we can continue. No issue.
Hope you guys are enjoying the show.
Yeah. No issue. Please continue.
There are so many features that which is going. I really doesn't want to miss or skip anything. Yeah. So suppose you have your Selenium script and everything is written in Xpath, or some complicated Xpaths are written over there, and you want to convert them as a CSS selectors, or you want to merge your Selenium script to Cypress. So how you can do that? So I'm not sure if you are aware about this feature. You can also convert your Xpath into CSS selector from SelectorsHub. Suppose you have an Xpath like this for any element. For this input, you have an Xpath like this, and you want to convert this to CSS selector. You just press enter over here. Once let me refresh the page. After on off, we have CSS. So we have generated this kind of Xpath is there in our script, and we want to convert this Xpath to CSS selector. You just paste that Xpath over here and press enter. You see that you got the CSS selector for your Xpath, and this you can use in place of this. So if you have an Xpath you want to convert into CSS selector, you just paste that Xpath over here. It will give you the better CSS selector for your Xpath. And if you have a CSS selector as well for any element, let's say for this element, if you have a CSS selector, like you copy this, and whatever CSS selector you will be having, for that it will give you, and press enter, it will give you the better CSS selector for that element as well. So this way you get the CSS selector, better CSS selector. So I hope this is helpful. Then you know that you got Xpath, you got CSS selector. So you copy this value. You come to your editor like this, and here you have to type this kind of command, right? Again and again, driver dot find element. Then you will type y.xpath, and then here you this, and you some like this, and then you will have this are doing for any other element like this one. Then you copy this value, then this again and again, right? This way we have to do it again and again. So can we get everything from SelectorsHub? Yes, we can get complete this command. What you have to do, wherever like this you copy, wherever you have written your Xpath, there is a button here, set driver command. Wherever you have written your Xpath, just replace that Xpath with Xpath value and press enter. See that you got the complete command. Now you copy this and you can paste it here. You see that complete command, you got it. You want for that input box, you just inspect that and copy this. and you can paste it here. So you see that whatever we have typed manually, that we got it automatically, completely. And this command could be anything. Like if you are writing in any framework like this, we just paste that. Yes, you have to replace the XPath with XPath value keyword. If you are writing in Cypress like cy.get, so wherever your CSS selector you have written, that replace that with XPath value keyword. Press enter, you got the CSS for Cypress as well, and then you can paste it in your editor. So this way you can make it very simple and very quick your automation script, and it will help you a lot to save a lot of time. And this command will be saved in your local, so whenever like you want, you can turn it on or turn it off, and this will be saved in your local. So next time when you will come, you will not have to make it on. So you will not have to like type it again and again. This is just one time setting. Your command will be saved as per your framework. So this is really helpful, and it will save a tremendous amount of time. Context menu I have showed you. Now coming to that, what next is going to come and what are the next innovations I'm working on. So there are like tremendous amount of so many innovations are there coming in SelectorsHub, which will save a huge amount of time for you guys, and something which are not possible. So as Sumit asked me, so let me show you quickly what is not possible today. So suppose you are on some kind of website, let's say goivo.com. There are still some dynamic elements which are still impossible to write and verify. Friends, now what I'm going to show you is that the next version, which will be available very soon. So you will not find these features today, what I'm going to show you now. Suppose this element, here you type something this way. If I ask you to inspect this element, trust me, you won't be able to inspect this element and you won't be able to write. Why? Because as soon as you click on this element, like right click, that goes away. So that right click is not possible on such elements. You cannot inspect these elements. And in fact, if you have open DevTools, yes, there are possible in some other ways, but not easily. Uh, you see that those drop down values we cannot inspect this way, like this way as well. So because whenever you click anywhere, that goes away. So the solution for this will be coming in the next version. This is 3.0 what I'm showing you here. This is under testing. What you have to do here, there's a debugger button. Turn on this debugger. Now you type here, let's say Goa. Here you see that now it is holded. Now we would be able to inspect it, and you would be able to write the XPath for these elements. Here you can just write XPath for such element. So this way you would be able to inspect with the help of SelectorsHub. You would be able to inspect them, and you would be able to write the XPath for them, and you would be able to inspect these elements. So SelectorsHub will make it possible. Today it is not possible. So this is one innovation which is coming in next version. If you have written an XPath like this way here, any XPath is here, and you want to convert that into because many times we want XPath. Guys, somebody is not on mute. I'm getting a background noise. Please go on mute. So if we have to convert this, let's say this is in caps, it is written in caps, right? So many times we want an XPath which is by ignoring the case, like there should not be it should not be case sensitive. Like here it is coming with search, and we want it case insensitive. It is in caps. So there is a button, this one, you click on this, it will generate XPath with case insensitive. If you have written a CSS selector which you want as a case insensitive, like this value is equal to search. Now S is capital, rest is small, but we want case insensitive, so that like if we write like this, everything is in small, then also it should work. So there is a button, this one, you click on this, it will make your CSS selector case insensitive, and XPath is case insensitive. So now if you press enter, it will show you, like even if the S is, you make it small, then also it show you that one matching node. So that feature is coming. Then today you have seen that we were generating XPath this one by one, these command, right? next, there's a multi-selector feature is coming, multi-selector generation is coming here. Like you see that this button is there, click to generate multiple selectors here. So this is really going to help you a lot, and this is first time you will see this kind of feature where you would be able to generate Xpath, CSS selector, ID, name, class, every possible selector for each element. Now what you have to do, you just inspect the element over here like this, keep inspecting those elements here, and you see that all the like selectors will be generating for each and every element over here, and you see that. And if you want to like with command, you just turn on this command here. If you have entered this driver dot find element, whatever you write this text path value and press enter, you see that all the commands you got, you can copy and paste it in your editor. This will save a tremendous amount of time for you, and your complete command is ready. CSS selectors are there, tag name, everything is there. You can also save this as an XLS file. Whenever you want to export that, you can export it. So lots of good things will be there. And apart from this, there will be one more good thing is coming, that's a test case studio. So there will be a button here, you can turn it on. You see that now if you perform anything over here like this, if you click here on this search, so everything, all your actions will be recorded here, and you see that you will get all of your steps recorded here. So you need not to like write basically the manual test case. You got the manual test case over here written, so this you can like save in your XLS. You can also copy these steps, that whenever you got any bug or something, you can tell the developer that okay, these are the steps to test this or regenerate the issue. You can also share the you got the automation command here, turn on, and you got the automation script is as well ready. Copy this and come in your editor, paste this. So a lot of amazing things are coming in next version, and yeah, so it will save a tremendous amount of time for you and will help you a lot. So this is next version 3.0, which I have showed you guys, and so many new things will be coming. Of course, I'm also working few more tools as well, which maybe in future you will get it soon. So stay tuned, and with that, thank you so much everyone. If you have any question, feel free to ask. You can follow me on any of the social media platform. You can reach out to me, and keep you can subscribe to this SelectorsHub YouTube channel, because most of the videos and everything updates and innovation will be keep coming, and I will keep adding them, because not sure like if we are getting interacting very frequently, but yeah, of course.
Hi Sanjay, this is Lata. Sorry, I have a question regarding privacy related stuff again.
Yes.
So I've just installed the SelectorsHub on Safari as well. And when I click on the SelectorsHub icon, in the extensions, I see that, this extension, I see a message, I'm just reading out the message.
Yes, yes.
So this extension would be able to read and alter web pages and see your browsing history on this website. This would include sensitive information, including passwords, phone number, and credit cards.
Yes.
So if passwords and credit cards information will be, will you be sharing those?
Yeah, so I'm really thankful that you asked that, friend. So any extension you install, it will be showing. So this is like basically okay. So the reason it shows that message is because any extension which is this kind of extension is required the DOM access for this website, then only it will be generating, right? Because it has to generate XPath and to verify XPath, it required the access of this DOM. So that is the reason it has asked the access, the extension has asked the access for all URLs. So whenever an extension asks the access for all URLs, it the message which you have just read, that it will be able to read that. So that will show by default from the browser store, from the company, the browser store company, like whether Safari, whether Chrome. So that will be shown from their end to the user that it can be done. So to overcome to that message, that that is the region that I have declared upfront to the users as well as browser store that yes, I have asked for this permission to access to get the DOM access so that I would be able to verify Xpath and generate Xpath on that. But here is my declaration that publisher has disclosed that it will not collect any user data or use your data. And that is the reason that I'm saying upfront that SelectorsHub doesn't share any user data, doesn't track any user activity, doesn't track anything. So, yeah. So that's a basically the standard formula. Like any company does, actually, the problem with the browser extensions is that they show upfront to the user that a pop-up and you read it. So then you feel that, oh my god, this extension is asking for this permission. Why? Because they have showed you the pop-up. While if you read any app, any extension permission, any app permission out there in the market, any app which you have installed in your browser, every app has asked for the similar permission. Just that we, for extension, they show it upfront as a pop-up, so we are able to read that. But if you have installed any app in your mobile or in your browser or in your laptop, every app has those permissions. It's a myth that we are not sharing, but every app has that permission.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Sure, you're welcome. So when we can expect version 3 to go live? Very soon, like it's almost production ready, but I used to be holding it for like because many people are not yet aware about like 2.0 features itself because it has tremendous amount of features. So as well as I also request community to support it so that like once we have a like good number of installation on 2.0 and people will be able to learn about from that, learn those, then we will immediately launch 3.0. Maybe in a month's time it will come live because testing is on. I'm testing it. Yeah. Any more question? Feel free to ask. And guys, I would really recommend you. I would really request you. Everything is absolutely free, and if you feel it, please write and add your review over here. Give 5-star rating. It will motivate me and it will help others to know about it. So please rate it. And if in fact, like because generally I ask this to rate it, but you can see that so many users are there, but only 244 reviews and ratings. So I would really recommend you guys just take a 1 minute of time and please rate this and share it in your social media and with your friends. So this will help me a lot and it will make it easy. I mean, I have set a mark this time that I will release 3.0 once it reach the rating of reach the 50,000 users. Then only I will release the 3.0 because this is absolutely free. I want everyone to learn from it and support and share. Any question, Sumit? If you have any question from your student side, or if you want to ask or share anything, so feel free to ask.
Yeah, hi Sanjay. Yeah, actually, many of the students which we are having are from the manual background or they are freshers. So basically, I want to know from your side, from your experience, that what is the future of automation you feel like in the next 5 years is going to be? Because some people feel that they say that okay, testing is going to be ended, automation testing is going to be ended. Because so,
Yes.
what are your points on that? Can you please tell?
Sure. So see, nothing is ever gonna end. The very first thing I would say. This testing is going to end. This AI ML has come, so this is going to end. That is going to end. So nothing is ever going to end. This is a myth, big time myth. So don't worry about this. That anything is going to end. And like especially like if the manual testers are there or automation testers. So neither manual testing is going to go away because there is no automation out there that which can say that we are 100%, we can automate any application or anything 100%. Those who are saying that is a wrong statement that we have done 100% automation. No, that's not possible. Everybody used to do the testing manually as well as automation. So everything will be there. Neither automation is going to go away nor manual testing. Talking about like what is the future, definitely future is really bright and of course good. I would recommend everybody, those who are in manual testing. Automation is not tough and not really hard that anybody cannot learn it. Everybody can learn it. So I would really recommend you that you should keep improving your knowledge and your skills. So please learn automation in whichever company you are. If there is opportunity to work on automation or not, even not, then also you learn it from outside. Like lots of YouTube channel are there, trainers like Sumit and all. They are doing really good job, so you can learn from them. Definitely, you should learn it, and you should keep improving your skills. Things are not going to away anytime, anytime. These will be always there, and there's nothing like that that anything will go away. If one thing will go away, next thing will come up. Come like QTP gone, Selenium came, something goes, then next thing comes. So keep on learning, but don't worry about that. I mean, this field will not be there. Uh, Let me give you one quick example here. I am from a chemical engineer. I'm a chemical engineer. I joined IBM. There I worked on mainframe technology. So for 3 years almost as an associate developer engineer. Then I felt that, oh my god, this mainframe technology is very old technology. It is going away from the market. Jobs are not there. This and that. And then I learned automation from QA Spider. There is an institute in Bangalore. So from there, I had 2 months training on automation testing. I learned Selenium Java. So and then I worked in Go on Selenium Java, then in Urban Letter, then in MOV. So 3-4 years I worked, and then I created chropath, and then now SelectorsHub. So you see that still testing is there. My point is, when I was working in mainframe, I thought everybody was saying mainframe will go away, mainframe will go away. Many of my friends are working in that technology, which is very old technology that is never gone away. It's still there. Everybody is earning good. You go on site. I came to this field. So every technology, every field has enough opportunity, good amount of money. Just that we have to explore, and we have to figure out our area of interest, in which field, in which technology we have the interest. But if you are in testing, I would really recommend you that you learn new tools, new technology, and automation. Do automation. If you doesn't get opportunity in your company, do it outside, learn it, and keep brushing your knowledge. It will be easy for you to switch your jobs. It will be easy for you to get higher package. But don't worry, nothing is going away.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjay, for the detailed answer. I hope it will help solve the query of many people who are listening here. So, guys, any more questions you would like to ask from Sanjay, please go ahead.
Hi Sanjay. How can we contact you via Sumit or Vandan, or you have any email if we have any doubts or queries? So,
Sure, Ankit. So you see that on SelectorsHub, here on the SelectorsHub tab, there is a Slack channel. So you can join this Slack channel, and you can feel free to reach out to me anytime. There is a Slack channel, so you can anytime you can reach out to me on SelectorsHub. Yeah, or in any social media platform, you can here you can reach out to me.
okay, fine.
Guys, you can download Slack in your mobiles and also in laptops. If you want to contact him, just please just join that channel. So because many of them may be not aware about the Slack, so I just tell them that please download on mobile and just join that channel. Anybody anytime have any query, just directly reach out to Sanjay, and he'll be helping you out related to this Selector, sir.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So this was really amazing session. Hope you guys learned something new, and this Sunday was really fruitful for me and everyone. It was good learning and great learning. I got something really good questions today, and it becomes like really interactive when people ask questions and interact. So it was really helpful and good. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so I would like to thank Sanjay again for sharing his knowledge and his experiences with us. And hopefully we are going to see the some more innovations from Sanjay side. So that will going to be helpful for our testing community. So thank you, Sanjay, again once from my side and from Vandan and all for joining us.
Thank you so much, Sumit and Vandan. And thank you all for joining. And it was
Yeah.
a great day. Great learning.
Thank you all. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah. Have a good day. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
If you
Bye,
have any
Sanjay.
questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah.